He told her she wasn't good enough, that she wasn't fit, flashy, or glamorous enough to stand beside him. So he dumped her for a gym bunny who lived for the spotlight. What he didn't know? The woman he humiliated, the one he left behind, was an heiress to a billion-dollar empire, and her silence would soon become the sweetest revenge. Before we dig deep into this shocking story, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss real stories that reveal the darkest truths and biggest betrayals. Lena had always been quiet, the type of woman who blended into the background. She worked as a librarian in a small town, her life simple, structured, and far from glamorous. She wore loose sweaters, kept her hair tied back, and never cared for makeup. To most people, she was invisible, but to Damien, she had once been everything. He loved her patience, her kindness, and her soft way of speaking. At least, in the beginning. Over time, though, Damien began to change. He became obsessed with appearances. He followed fitness influencers, compared Lena to women online, and made offhanded comments that cut deep. Maybe you should join a gym. You'd look better in tighter clothes. Don't you want to glow up a little? Lena laughed it off, but deep down, each word broke her. The final straw came at a dinner date. Damien stared at her across the table and said coldly, "I just can't do this anymore. I need someone who fits my lifestyle, someone glamorous, someone who actually takes care of her body." And just like that, he ended it. Within weeks, Damien was all over town with Tanya, a self-proclaimed fitness model. Tanya lived for the gym, posted daily selfies, and thrived on attention. Together, she and Damien looked like the perfect couple on social media. His arm wrapped tightly around her toned waist, her lips pouting at the camera. Meanwhile, Lena quietly slipped out of his life. No drama, no begging, no second chances. She simply vanished. What Damien didn't know and what Lena never spoke of was her family. Her late grandfather, a reclusive billionaire named Charles Kensington, had always adored her. He admired her humility and her ability to treat everyone equally, no matter their status. When he passed away, his will shocked the world. The entire Kensington fortune, worth $700 million, was left to Lena. While Damien was busy flaunting Tanya on Instagram, Lena was meeting lawyers, learning about trust funds, and preparing for a life she had never imagined. She didn't buy flashy cars or post designer bags online. Instead, she invested quietly, donated to charities, and started building a foundation in her grandfather's honor. But fate wasn't done weaving their story together. Months later, an exclusive charity gala lit up the city. It was the kind of event Damien had always dreamed of attending. Thanks to Tanya's new influencer connections, they somehow managed to snag an invitation. They arrived dressed to kill Damien in a rented tux, Tanya in a glittery gown that screamed for attention. They mingled, posed for pictures, and bragged to anyone who would listen about their high life. And then, the lights dimmed. The host's voice echoed across the room. "Tonight we honor the Kensington Foundation, led by none other than our city's newest philanthropist and the sole heiress to the Kensington empire, Miss Lena Kensington." Gasps rippled through the ballroom as Lena stepped onto the stage. No longer in her librarian sweaters, she wore a breathtaking gown, her hair styled into waves, diamonds glittering on her neck and wrists. She carried herself with quiet power, her smile calm and confident. Damien's jaw dropped. Tanya's face turned pale, and when Lena's eyes finally landed on them, she raised her champagne glass and whispered just loud enough for them to hear, "Nice seeing you." From that night forward, Damien's world crumbled. He tried to contact Lena, leaving desperate messages. "I made a mistake, Lena. You've changed. You look incredible. Can we start over? Tanya isn't who I thought she was." But Lena never responded. Tanya, on the other hand, didn't last long either. Rumors spread that she was using Damien for money he didn't have, and soon she dumped him for someone richer. Damien found himself alone, his pride shattered, his shallow choices exposed. Meanwhile, Lena only grew stronger. admired by everyone for her grace, her philanthropy, and her refusal to let bitterness define her. But here's the twist that made this story unforgettable. Damien wasn't done scheming. Word spread that he was trying to sue Lena, claiming that she had financially manipulated him during their relationship. His plan? To drag her name through court in hopes of squeezing money from her newfound fortune. What he didn't know was that Lena had anticipated this. Her lawyers, her foundation, and even her late grandfather's legal team were already 10 steps ahead. The trial was about to begin, and the whole city was watching. The day of the trial arrived. The courtroom buzzed with reporters, influencers, and business moguls who all wanted a front row seat. Damien walked in with a smug grin, holding Tanya's hand, yes, the same. Tanya, who had publicly dumped him but came crawling back when she heard about the lawsuit. He told the press, "I was deceived. Lena pretended to be poor to manipulate me emotionally. I deserve compensation for the years I wasted." The arrogance in his voice made the crowd murmur. But Lena? She entered with quiet grace, dressed in a simple black suit flanked by her lawyers. She didn't even glance at Damien's way. When the judge asked for opening statements, Damien's lawyer painted Lena as a calculated liar, a woman who hid her wealth to toy with an honest man. Then came Lena's turn. Her lawyer calmly presented evidence, bank statements, old text messages, and photos proving Damien constantly belittled her, pressured her to change, and left her the moment he found someone more fit. The final nail? A voice recording of Damien bragging to a friend that he only sued Lena because she won't fight back. She's too soft. The courtroom gasped. Damien's smug grin vanished. But just when Lena thought the worst was over, another twist unfolded. Tanya, Damien's beloved gym bunny, secretly contacted Lena's lawyers. It turned out Damien had cheated on Tanya repeatedly, and she had proof. Screenshots of his late-night messages to other women, bank transfers showing he drained Tanya's savings, even videos where he mocked Tanya behind her back. Why did Tanya turn against him? Because Damien had promised her a share of Lena's money if he won the lawsuit. But once she overheard him calling her just a stepping stone, she snapped. In the middle of the trial, Tanya testified against Damien, exposing every dirty secret. The courtroom erupted. Damien tried to silence her, but the damage was done. By the time the judge adjourned, Damien wasn't just losing the case, he was facing charges for fraud and defamation. Weeks later, Damien's world collapsed completely. His assets were seized, his reputation destroyed, and Tanya left him for good this time with evidence she sold to the tabloids. Meanwhile, Lena's life blossomed. She expanded her foundation, funding scholarships for women who had been mocked or mistreated like she once was. Her story became an inspiration worldwide for the quiet librarian who rose above betrayal to become a billionaire philanthropist. But the most chilling moment came when Damien, now broke and humiliated, tried one last time. He showed up at one of Lena's charity events wearing a wrinkled suit, eyes hollow. He whispered, "Lena, please, just give me another chance." Lena looked at him, her expression unreadable. She leaned closer and said softly, "You wanted someone fit and flashy. Now you have nothing. Goodbye, Damien." She walked away, leaving him in tears as cameras flashed, capturing his downfall for the world to see. But here's the question. Did Lena make the right choice by walking away without mercy? Or should she have shown Damien compassion, proving she was better than him? And what do you think Damien truly deserves after all the pain he caused? Thank you for watching this expanded story of betrayal, greed, and poetic justice. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes silence is the sharpest revenge.